Yes, we were familiarized with one option, which is in line with the understandings that were reached in Alaska. And therefore, many, I would say, not all, but many provisions of this plan, we find them quite acceptable. And concerning the other provisions, there are many, in fact, 28 points. These particular provisions, of course, demand the most detailed discussion and careful consideration between all the parties involved. However, this specific issue has not yet been discussed with us. Regarding the various plans that are currently circulating, we just this morning quite unexpectedly learned about a European plan, which, to be perfectly honest, at first glance appears to be completely unconstructive and is therefore entirely unsuitable for our needs. But Mr. Rubio, he declared that the Geneva negotiations with the Ukrainians were entirely satisfactory to the American side. But he also said there are 28 points and 26 points, many things, plus a lot of different speculations, and it's unclear whom to believe. But we trust what we saw, what was conveyed to us through the proper channels.
And I ask you, do not stay silent. Do not be passive observers of history. Be participants. It is important to support Ukraine now, and I thank you for that support. It is important to support the negotiation process, and I am grateful for every piece of advice and every bit of information we receive from European leaders. And it is crucial to support the principles on which Europe stands, that borders cannot be changed by force, that war criminals must not escape justice, and that the aggressor must pay fully for the war he started.
So it is in my personal view that we've had probably the most productive and meaningful meeting so far in this entire process since we've been involved in from the beginning. We have a very good work product that was already built on a foundation of input from all the relative parties involved here, and we were able to go through some of those items now point by point, and I think we've made good progress. Our teams have now gone to their rooms as we're working on some of the suggestions that were proffered to us. So we're working through making some changes, some adjustments, in the hopes of furthering narrowing the differences and getting closer to something that both Ukraine and obviously the United States are very comfortable with. Obviously, this will ultimately have to be signed off by our presidents, although I feel very comfortable about that happening given the progress we've made. And then obviously there's the Russian side of the equation. But again, we think we have some pretty substantial insights over the last 9 months.